Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. Come on in. Hit that share button as you come in and join us for Catalyst. Let us know that you're here. Go ahead and hit the share button. Let us know that you're here. Type hello in the comments. Let us know that you're here, that you see us, that you're with us this evening.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us on tonight. Um, do you hear some feedback? Maybe some feedback a little bit.
No, I don't hear any.
It could just be me.
Okay.
So, good evening, everybody. I hope this day has been well for you. Again, tonight we're back again. I know you've seen the advertisement for Catalyst. We are winding down. We are less than a month away. And so we wanted to take this opportunity to hang out with you guys on tonight, just in case you had any questions for us. And so I am Dr. Gina Crawford, and I'm here with my Catalyst partner. Tell them who you are.
It's Dr. Darrius Jeter. Glad to be with you all this evening. Thank y'all for coming on in. Come on in. Go ahead and hit that share button and invite somebody with you. Like she said, we are winding down. Catalyst is right around the corner. And some of you may still have some questions about getting in the room, questions about what we're going to be doing, things that you may learn. And we're here to talk about all of those things tonight and just kind of bring everybody up to speed about the value that Catalyst will bring to you, your ministry, your business, your nonprofit, you as a leader to help you get developed. As we set out to start this, Catalyst is designed to empower future business and nonprofit leaders as well as entrepreneurs and ministry leaders by equipping them with the essential skills and knowledge needed to be successful in both ministry and business. And when you connect with us, some of the things you're gonna get a deep understanding of financial management, branding, organizational structure, strategic planning, goal setting techniques, all these things and more. You'll learn how to develop clear communication skills and networking abilities, which are all crucial for building teams and collaborating with others to grow your business, to grow your ministry, to grow what you're doing. And additionally, Catalyst will focus on leadership development and help provide you with the tools to help navigate you through as a leader, guide you through dealing with public scrutiny. Want to make sure that all leaders, whether in business or ministry, are prepared to lead with confidence, with integrity, and with resilience, so that you don't give up on the vision and the dream that you are striving to try to plant in the earth. Amen. So come on in with your questions. Come on in with your thoughts. Come on in with your ideas, and let's talk about
So I'll start with my question. Um, so you and I have had several conversations about consulting and about people kind of diving into and buying into the fact that they need help. What do you say to those people tonight who think they don't need help?
there's always something that we can learn. There's always things that we don't know. If we think we have it all figured out, we're setting ourselves up down the road to have a major fall, to have a major crash. The moment that you stop developing yourself as a leader, as a business leader, as a ministry leader, as a person, the moment you stop developing yourself, you stop growing, which means you're no longer gaining new wisdom, new knowledge, new things, new techniques, because the market is constantly changing and we're not keeping up with it. If we're not learning how to pivot because we've gained new information, we'll soon find ourselves out of business. We'll find ourselves behind, and sometimes it's too hard to catch back up once you've missed the shift in the market. So we got to continue developing ourselves. So that's why this is essential, to make sure that you're in the room to get the information so that you can develop yourself.
What do you say to those people who may be intimidated? I know sometimes, starting in business and um, trying to navigate the business yourself and trying to navigate the ideas, sometimes you feel, I know at one point, it was intimidating because you feel like everybody else has all this knowledge. And sometimes you don't want to show people or admit that you don't have it. So, what do you say to people who are in that space where I would come, but this seems kind of intimidating?
And I think that's natural to kind of be intimidated, especially when it's something that's new to you, something you've never done before. You're stepping out of your comfort zone. You really don't know where to start or what to do. But what we have to understand is that all these people who have started businesses and have been successful in businesses, they were once there too. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to start, where to start. But they had to, kind of embrace that fear and move forward in it. And being able to be uncomfortable and still move forward, that is one of the main things that separate those who are successful from those who are not successful. The willingness to embrace that fear and keep moving in spite of it. I mean, when you look at somebody like just whether you like him or not, somebody like an Elon Musk who just says, "Well, I'm going to start a space. I'm going to build a spaceship." That's a wild idea. But I mean, even Henry Ford back in the day, everybody's horse and buggy. Well, I want to build a car. You have an idea in you, and to you, it's overwhelming, it's intimidating. But you got to start somewhere because all these other people did too. Embrace your dream, embrace that fear. Get in this room. One of the things that takes fear away is educating yourself. Once you start to learn the ins and outs of a thing, little bit by little bit, you start to say, "Oh, that ain't that bad. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that." And before you know it, you're comfortable in that space. You're comfortable in that room.
I
Yeah.
know I've been there, a couple of times myself. And so what I wanted to drive home to, to our audience on tonight is we've been where you are, you might be. And so this is not something that, we have not experienced ourselves and sometimes still experiencing. Um, it's where you jump. It's kind of like you say double dutch. It's like I want to jump in, but I ain't sure. I want to. So we teeter totter kind of back and forth. And, it's not until sometimes you get that push from other people to say, no, you can do this. And so that's what I want to drive home to our audience on tonight is we are the people who say, no, you can do this.
So how important would you say it is for a budding entrepreneur to take on a mentor, somebody that they can or build a network of a community of other business leaders that they can just kind of lean on each other and pick each other's brain? How important do you think it is to have that community?
I see it's on. Okay, so they're asking one of us to mute our devices.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, now I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm muted so when you talk, the buzz won't be there.
So can
You
y'all
go
hear me
ahead.
now? Is that better? Is that better? Can y'all hear me? So y'all can hear me? Okay. Say something to see if I can hear you.
No, I muted myself so there wouldn't be
No,
any
I can't
feedback
hear.
because I think that's the feedback you were hearing earlier.
Yeah.
So as you talk, then I'll mute as you talk so we won't have that feedback.
Okay. So, okay, say your question again.
I said, how important do you think it is for that budding entrepreneur, that budding business leader, to have a mentor, or either for a group of business leaders to form a little group or a community so they can lean on each other and pick each other's brain to encourage each other, share insights, and share ideas? How important is that type of community?
I think that mentorship is valuable. I think mentorship is needed. And sometimes so here's the thing with me in mentorship. Sometimes, and you and I have had this conversation several times where sometimes when we think about mentorship, we look at quote unquote the big name people. We look at quote unquote people who we can get ideas from. But oftentimes these are the people that are not are out of our reach. And so because so and so is on this platform and this person is on this platform, and sometimes we overlook the people who are literally right at our arm's reach. And so I think mentorship is very needed, and it's needed from people who are actually saying, hey, I get it, I've been where you are. So sometimes we have to reshape our thinking as to what mentorship looks like. Sometimes it's, well, I'm going to quote unquote the big person or the big name person or the big business person. And so even though they can give you strategies, and not to take anything away from them, but it's more valuable when I get to have that one-on-one conversation with people. I think it's more valuable when I get to sit down and I get to ask the questions, the necessary questions. I think it's more valuable when you get to sit down and you can ask the person who's going to give it to you on the level that you're on. And so, to help raise you up to those different levels. So I think it's valuable to join those groups. I think it's valuable. It's interesting to me that the people who kind of are familiar with you sometimes are the last people to buy in. Sometimes they're the last people to buy in. And so sometimes we have to reshape our thinking and get a different perspective in terms of, hey, the person that you may have known literally all your life is now in a new lane and in a new space. And now for this season that you're in, they have what you need. And so it's about connectivity. It's about connectivity. Nobody can do business by themselves. I know we think that we got it on lock. I know we think that it's all my business. But again, you and I were talking about, even like with the cell phone, you see the finished product, but behind the scenes, there were a lot of pieces and a lot of people to help to put those things together. And so we're saying, we're driving home that we are the people who may be your behind the scenes. And so again, I think the mentorship piece is phenomenal. I think it's needed. And one thing about Catalyst, I think that is so different and so innovative is the fact that we are committing ourselves to following you for a whole year, to stick with you for an entire year. And so, again, from the person who has started the business 20 years ago to the person who you just started yesterday, to the person who's even sitting right now saying, all I have is an idea, or to the person who's saying, I don't know if I let you in, am I relinquishing control to you? So sometimes we have to come in as a blank slate. And so we're those people, I think, are that mentorship piece to say, no, we're not just saying that we got your back. We're not just saying that we're with you. We're actually with you because we've been there. We've been there. We understand what it's like. We understand on different levels and different scales what it's like. And so again, to answer your question, I think mentorship is needed because we need each other. We need each other, especially in business. We need each other. Relationships are important.
I want to go back to something you said. You talked about being in the rooms with the big people. What is it that people? Why is it that, and it's going to be like the tough one? Why is it that people dismiss certain leaders or certain people because they haven't attained a certain status level that society says is what's acceptable for success? Like, why must you be this multimillionaire to when you still have a lot of wisdom that you obtained along the way? Your business may not be as big, but why are those people dismissed? Why is that knowledge dismissed?
Can I tell you the first thing that came to my mind? People like
Yeah,
to
go
name
right
drop.
ahead. Say what
People
now?
like to name drop.
That's it.
Um, it's where people like to say that my name is associated with a certain person's name. And so, we are in, especially in this country, from what I've experienced, we are status driven. We are status driven. And so, look at how we take selfies. If something happens to a celebrity or something happens where somebody is popular or somebody's in the news, I can guarantee you that on different people's timelines, they will start posting selfies or start posting memories of when they met this person, or when they, they took a selfie with this person, or when they shook this person's hand, or when this person, kissed their napkin and they saved it 20 years later. And so we that's just who we are. It's unfortunate sometimes because we like to name drop. We like to say who we know, and we are status driven. And here's the other thing that I think for us, we equate money with success. Oftentimes, success is not necessarily equated with knowledge, but it's equated with money. So if you have a lot of money, it says that you know what you're doing. You could be the okay, let me say this politically correctly. You can be the most character challenged person. That's the best way I can say it. You can be the most character challenged person known to man. But if your pockets run deep, people are going to gravitate towards you. Versus the person who's saying, my pockets may not run as deep right now, but I have a wealth of knowledge that I'm trying to give to you. And I'm trying to give it to you because your character is what's going to keep you. That's what I think. I really want to know what the public thinks.
Yeah, y'all chime in. Y'all got some questions? Y'all got some comments? Y'all throw some stuff out there so we can kind of have a conversation. Because again, we're presenting this because we want to be a help to those who may have an idea, those who may be in the middle of their business, those who may be seasoned in their business. We want to be a resource and a help. So let's start this conversation. Is there any questions out there that anybody got?
And let me say this, no question is quote unquote a dumb question. Sometimes people,
Right.
again, going back to that intimidation piece where it's like, well, I don't want to ask my question because if I'm supposed to be a business owner, then, why would I ask a question? Because people think or assume that I'm supposed to know it all. And I don't care, even to the billionaire, nobody knows it all. Nobody knows it all.
Right. And like I say, people they want to name drop, they want to, I guess, elevate themselves by who the big name they're connected to, but you leave a lot of wisdom on the table when we neglect those who are around us, who are still plowing and plucking every day to grow in the things that they're doing, because they still have a lot of wisdom, they still have a lot of talent, they still have a lot of insight, a lot of things that they want to share, and it goes unused. I remember, and this is just, I remember about a month or two ago, I was putting stuff out online saying, hey, just connect with me. I got a lot of wisdom about a lot of different things. No topic is off limits.
Mm-hmm.
Hit me up, schedule a Zoom, we'll talk, whatever. A handful of people took me up on it, and we had some great conversations, but it was not like I was trying to charge anybody for anything. It was just, I had a lot of wisdom from a lot of different sectors of life, a lot of different experiences that I just wanted to share. That God just wanted me to download, and it's amazing that people won't take the opportunity sometimes to put themselves in a position to get the things that they need, and a lot of it is misplaced priority because we'll prioritize something that's not very important, but we want to invest in the things that are going to benefit us in the long run. And so we got to begin to change our mentality, because when you start talking about being a business leader, a ministry leader, and being successful and clicking on all of those cylinders, a mindset change has to take place. The way you view things, your perspective has to change. You can't view things the way the everyday average person views things. You have to view things from a totally different lens. You have to move in a totally different way. And a lot of people don't understand that. And that's one of the reasons too, that a lot of people never hit the success that they're trying to hit in the business that they're trying to establish, because that mentality change has not shifted. Yes, Coach Tashawn, you took the opportunity.
And I'm sorry. That mute thing, that feedback thing. I'm still curious, as to why. Let me tell you what just dropped into my head. Sometimes, especially when you're talking about. Okay, so let me back up. So people see you and I sometimes in a different light. because it's like, wait a minute, I thought he was an apostle. Wait a minute. I thought she was a pastor. I thought he was a pastor. I thought she was a prophetess. So now they're talking about business. So which one is it? And so sometimes people, I think, don't necessarily make the connection between the two, where it's a, well, y'all talking about God, and I don't see God in business. Help us with that part.
Well, God is in everything that we do, and so so to put it in a biblical perspective, the body of Christ shouldn't have to go to the world and ask it for anything. So, in order for us to not have to go to the world and ask it for anything, that must mean that the body of Christ has a totally different operating economy within itself. We should have our own hospitals, our own banks, our own lawyers, all these different things. If I need carpeting done in my home, I should be able to call a brother and sister in Christ who has a carpeting business. If I need windows, if I need a maid, all these different things. So we look at these things and we think that it's not connected. It is connected, because if the body of Christ is doing the work, and we got our own little economy going, and we're able to fund the different things that the body of Christ and the church desires to do. One of the saddest things, and I talked about it Sunday when I preached, one of the saddest things is when people come to the church and you look at the church and you think it's a building or an institution, or that you are separate from it, but you come to the church and you're asking for help, and the church is not in a position to help you. And now the church has a bad name. You're talking about the church, but all of us who make up the church, when we don't have our own economy and we're not sowing into the church or the ministry, the kingdom of God, for the kingdom of God to take care of the people of God, we're out of order. We're flawed. So that's why people such as myself, people such as Dr. Crawford, that's why God leads us into these spaces to help open everybody's eyes to understand that, hey, you as a kingdom leader, you as a member of the kingdom, there's something in you for you to produce in the earth and contribute to the Lord's economy in the body of Christ. That's important. So we can't just say that, oh, business is separate from the church. No, God is in everything. God is in everything. And we got to make that connection. That marketplace ministry is exactly what it is. We got to do ministry in the marketplace. So I know you all have some questions out there. You all come on. Don't let us talk amongst ourselves.
Right. We got a couple of comments. And so Coach Tashawn, that's so tongue twister. She's saying something that is so true. People, it's a mindset shift. And one of the comments that she made was, people are mesmerized by the end result, but they don't want to put the work in. And so that is so true. It's like we look at what other people have and it's like, I want that. And so oftentimes we don't sit down and even ask the necessary questions. What did it take for you to get that? What did you have to do to get there? And so they don't see, especially in the vein of entrepreneurship, they don't see you up at night, or they don't see you up early in the morning. They don't see you scratching through this and having to go back to the drawing board time and time again. They just see the end result and think, oh, well, yeah, that's what I want. And so sometimes once people get started, it's like when the hard work really gets to the point where you've got to do it, a lot of times people will just kind of put it to the side. She even said it takes investment, it takes work. She says, I can't emphasize enough that you've got to get out and do the work. Here's the thing that even now sometimes I struggle with: get out of your comfort zone. Woo, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, the comfort zone will kill you. It'll kill every dream and vision and goal that you have. And I think one of the misconceptions that people have is that people who are operating in business and people who are being successful in their business won't have a desire to help you. And it took me a long time to understand this, they are more than willing to share the information that they have. They're not going to look down on you because you're just starting, because they realize at one point in time they were there. And the reason they are so willing to share the information that they have to make sure and help you be successful is because they want to work with people who they know have put in the work. Once you put in the work and you see somebody else has put in the work, you don't mind doing business with that person because you know that they take your time, your expertise, and what you bring to the table. They understand that you take it seriously, just like they do. Nobody wants to work with the person who hadn't put in the work, who's just flying by, who's just coasting by. Because not only are you not taking your business seriously, but if I get involved with you, you're gonna mess up what I got going on. So that it's important. Me and Dr. Crawford had a conversation before we came on about small business, and we were talking about Chick-fil-A being a small business. And one of the things I was saying is that a lot of people don't understand Chick-fil-A's franchise model. You know, they have a very low cost to get a franchise. It's $10,000, but they select who they want to take part in that franchise because they maintain ownership of it. You can't pass it on to your kids. Once you retire and everything, they maintain ownership of it. They let you share in the profit. But when you go from Chick-fil-A to Chick-fil-A to Chick-fil-A, the standard of service is the same. The standard of attitude is the same. The mentality of the employees, the managers are all the same. Why? Because they pick their people. They don't need you coming in messing up their brand. You can go to McDonald's. Ain't no telling what you're gonna get. And so it's important. It's important for you to put in the work and then be willing to work with people who've put in the work. It's important. People are willing to share with you all that they have if they know that you're serious about it. So get in these rooms, ask these questions, pick these people's brains. Come pick our brain. That's what we here for. We may not be multimillionaires, but we have started some businesses and we have learned some things along the way that will be helpful to you.
I wanted to I wanted to share that sometimes we have to get, speaking of a mindset, sometimes we have to get out of the mindset that what you're doing in terms of entrepreneurship or that your business is just like a little side hustle. Sometimes it's like, well, I don't need all the information that y'all have. This is just kind of what I'm doing on the side. And so for some of us, you just really never know what that could turn into. But shifting your mindset from that being a side hustle, or that's just a little, sometimes we've heard people say, oh, that's just a little something I do on the side. And so sometimes that keeps us from really tapping into what we have and what it could really be, the full potential of it. And so, what if it's not just a side hustle? You're tired of your 9 to 5, you're constantly complaining. And literally, what if you being in this room, what if you attending Catalyst is the game changer for you? What if being in this space with us and other business leaders and ministry leaders and entrepreneurs and people who have ideas, what if this is the place that actually catapults you into the next level? And so, again, we want to encourage you to sign up. We want to encourage you to register. We want to encourage you to come. There are vendor opportunities. There's an opportunity for you to do a business blurb. And so, again, here's the other piece that I'm thinking about in terms of business, especially with entrepreneurs and small business leaders, and even in ministry. Sometimes in our minds, we think everything's a competition. We have to be in this mindset of having a competitive state. And so what if, just what if we just decided, hey, you help me, I help you, and we're all in this together? What if we decided to take that mindset? For yourself, Dr. Jeter, that in the circles that we have and the people that we know, we don't mind sharing what's going on. We don't mind having the conversation. We don't mind asking the questions, because everybody's good at what they're good at doing. And so just because you're landing in this room doesn't mean that you're not good at what you're doing. Just because you don't know who we are does not mean that we don't have the wealth of knowledge just for you. And it could be that God is saying, hey, I need you to get in this space, this intimate space, so that you can ask the necessary questions, so that you can ask the questions that you have not been able to ask the quote unquote big people, so that you can connect with people. You can see how people are doing it. You can see face to face and in live and in person how people are continuing to make it, but necessarily have not gotten to the pinnacle of where they want to be or where they need to be. But what does that look like? What does the push look like? What does the strive look like? And so again, if you're watching us on tonight, we just want to encourage you to hang out with us September 21st at Catalyst at 11 a.m. And the investment, sometimes the tickets are only, but this is an investment. The investment is $50. We were talking, that's your weekend money. That is your one plate restaurant money without a refill. And so, we want to encourage you. Again, this is something that both of us are passionate about. We're passionate about helping other people. If you know Dr. Jeter personally, if you know me personally, we are passionate about helping people to reach their goals, helping people to reach their full potential. So, and one other question I have for those who are out here, what's your driving force? What drives you to do what you do? What drives you to do what you do? What is your driving force? Do you even know what your driving force is? What's your driving force? What's pushing you? Is it what's not pushing you? Is it that you're fearful? Is it that you've tried this before and you failed 3 times before? So why would I try again? So what is your driving force? Dr. Gita, maybe if you're comfortable, if you could kind of share with our audience some things that are like, okay, I didn't try this just one time and it worked. I didn't just try it twice and it worked. I tried several things several times. And so sometimes people need to hear that. So how would you encourage that person to say, I've tried this 3 times, I've tried this 4 times, I'm done with trying?
Okay, so here's the thing. When it comes to business, you're not betting on the business. You are betting on yourself. That's the key. So that's why the investment in getting the information is so important, because you're investing in yourself. So when you look at those people who are the big name people, you look at what they sacrificed, not just because they were trying to produce a product, but they were betting on themselves to be successful. And so I'm betting on myself. I think I've been a stockbroker. I've sold insurance. I've started several online companies. I have a publishing company now. But here's the thing. You're going to do something for money, right? You're going to do something. What is it that you're doing right now? You have a certain skill set, a certain ability to do something, and somebody's paying you for it. Mm-hmm. So remove the middleman, which is the job, and go straight to the customer with the skill set that you have. Because here's the thing. You get up every day, you go to work, you don't feel like it, you're tired, you complain about how much money you're making because what you're making ain't enough. But guess what? And here's the thing. Then somebody got the nerve to sit you down at a quarterly review or annual review and tell you that you didn't make them as much money as they was hoping you would. Do you get that? Do y'all really get that? You work weekends, you go in on holidays, you stay late, you go in early, all to make another person more wealthy. when I realized that at the young age of 25, I said then, oh no. Now I never had a problem working nonprofit organizations because that's a different beast. But corporate America, if you die today, they will be advertising your job by next Friday. Even after you killed yourself working late, being stressed about hitting this goal and that objective and getting this client, take your skill set and go straight to the market. And technology has made it available for us to do it so much more easier than when I first started out trying to build online stores. They didn't have a fourth of the tools that they have now. Bet on yourself. Get in these rooms. Get the skill sets you need. Get the tools you need. Make the network. Make the network connections that you need. Make the collaborations that you need. Make the partnerships that you need. Get the information and the wisdom that you need. You may be looking at your skill set saying, well, how can I do this and go straight to the market? Get in this room and we'll show you how. We'll talk you through it. We'll help you develop a strategy and a plan to do it so that you can be successful and wake up one morning excited to be working because you know that the middleman is gone. I'm counting on me and I'm getting it all now instead of having to get the little piece. Because you look at the little piece that you get for the job that you do, how much more is the person who's employing you getting off of the work that you're doing? And you may say, well, I'm a teacher. How can I take that? Well, there are private schools out there. A teacher knows how school works. They know how to employ other teachers. I'm just a janitor. You can go to the dollar store and stock up on a whole bunch of janitorial supplies and go hit these doctors and lawyer offices up and clean them after hours. You got your own business. You got a lawnmower, you got a green thumb, you like to be out there working in your yard, get your lawnmower and go get you some business cards printed up. Hey, this is my lawn company, let me cut your grass. Everything that you can turn what you do into a business, and you don't have to call it a side hustle. You can bet on yourself, invest in yourself, and dedicate your time to building it. You may be tired for a while as you build your business and use the security of your paycheck, but your focus is building your brand, building your business, building your security and your freedom. We always like to talk about financial freedom and financial security and estate planning, this, that, and the third. But are we going to put ourselves in a position so that we can actually do it? That's where that mindset shift has to take place. That's where that mentality shift has to take place. And it's difficult to do, but get in this room. We got to pray with you to get your mindset to shift. We'll do that. But get in this room so we can help you develop the blueprint to shift your mindset.
When we talk about that teacher piece, I had to say
here's a funny thing. Here's a funny thing that I'll say. Well, I got the collar shirt on today, but I got and the blue T-shirt on. But here's the thing, and my wife will tell you, I've been saying this for years. Unless the event absolutely calls for it, I'm not wearing a suit. And here's my reasoning why. And I'm not against professional dress, so don't take that the wrong way. I know when I need to dress up when I'm not going. I got some home training. My mama, she in the other room. She talking about. I know how to dress up. I know how to be presentable. But here's the thing. I'm an entrepreneur. When I put on that suit, that means I'm going to ask you for something. I'm asking for the job. I'm asking you to buy this product. I'm asking you to do this. I'm asking you to do that. My mentality has shifted to where I tell my wife this all the time, and nobody else has to see it or understand it or believe it, but I believe it. I am the most important person in the room. Who am I trying to impress? I'm not asking you for the job anymore. I'm not asking you to buy the product anymore. I'm in the room trying to give you what I have. Sometimes it's going to cost you. And you may say, well, you trying to sell something. I ain't trying to sell something. I'm offering you what I have. It's up to you whether you're going to buy it or not. But to me, I don't have to put on, quote unquote, the dog and pony show anymore because I'm the most important person in the room now. Your mentality has to shift in whatever area it needs to so that that boldness goes before you and thrives in you to propel you forward in doing the things that's in you to do so that you can be successful. I hope that helps somebody.
Look, I'm sitting here like, it's helping me.
Because if anybody looks online at a couple of things that I've been at lately, and I've spoken at a few things, I'm not in no suit. I got on a polo shirt and a little jacket that my wife bought me a few years ago from Old Navy. I went last Wednesday. I went last week. And if anybody's in Gwinnett County, they can pull it up on Gwinnett County's website. I went last week and spoke in front of the board of elections. Same thing. I'm not wearing a suit. I am the most important person in the room. What I have to say is valuable. But here's the thing. A suit can get you in a room. But what you say, your wisdom, the value that you have, that's what keeps you in the room. That's what makes you an asset. And once you present that, it no longer matters what you're wearing. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm bringing when I enter in every room. I'm not asking you for anything. I'm offering you what I have. And that's what makes me valuable.
That's why he is who he is, ladies and gentlemen. That's why. So I want to say that everything you're saying is absolutely necessary. And, oftentimes we will diminish and we will dumb down and we will downplay what we're good at doing. And so I literally had to get to the point, and this was recently, I got to the point where I think I was in a room with myself. And so I just blurted out. I was like, I am good at what I do. And then I looked around, I realized I was in a room by myself, but still. I was like, I had to come to the conclusion, and it wasn't to be arrogant. It wasn't to be, prideful or anything like that. But really, I took it back to the fact of God put this inside of me. And so if he put this inside of me, and this is my passion, this is what I am created to do, I am really good at what I do. And so, I had to get to the point where I believed it. And so, we're encouraging you, for those you're still in that in-between stage. You're trying to decide, is this really for me? Do I really believe? How do I believe in myself? How do I move forward? How do I not compare myself with so many people? How do I, and here's the other piece. Just in terms of the support piece, that support piece oftentimes is contingent upon you getting out of that comfort zone. Oftentimes, especially when we started a business, or ministry or what have you, we're looking for the people that we know to support us. We're looking for the people that we know, and so sometimes, and I had to come to grips with this for myself. Sometimes God won't allow them to support you because they will become a crutch for you. And so, what you have is not just for the people that you live with. What you have is not just for the people around in your neighborhood. What you have is for people, period. It's for people, period. And, nobody's going to do it like you do it. And so here's the other piece. If, we encourage you to get into this catalyst room so that you can do what you do, but so that you can do what you do legally.
Yep. You can't just hang your shingle out there, as they say. It's got to be decent and in order and lawful. So get that information. A lot of people just start a business and your money isn't separated from your personal finance. You don't have the proper license, the proper structure. There's all types of different tax and legal consequences to not being set up properly. We can talk about this stuff. We can give you the blueprint. We can help you. But see, all that educating yourself. Dr. Gina said, "I'm good at what I do." You have to have that. You have to make that mental shift to get that confidence in yourself. You can't enter into a room to present your business and you are not confident in yourself and what you do, because people who are in business, they're gonna pick up on it. They pick up on it quick. So you got to get to that, and the way you the way you get to that place is you educate yourself. When I know what I know, I can stand on that. I can operate from that. And Dr. Crawford just mentioned competition. Stop competing. I mean, there's healthy competition. There's healthy competition, but stop comparing and competing with other people. There's enough customers out there for everybody. But here's the thing. That's not my competition. They do what they do well. Let me do what I do well. And one of the things I learned as an executive with the Boy Scouts, one of the things that he would be called the CEO, what he would always say is, don't reinvent the wheel. Don't reinvent the wheel. If somebody is doing something that's awesome, well, don't say, well, no, I got to come up with something better to be better than theirs. If it's going to help me, let me take what they're doing and tweak it to make it help me. That's not my competition. Let us learn from each other, because there's some stuff that I'm going to do well that they didn't see, that they don't know. So they look at me and be like, oh, okay. I don't need to be saying, well, they copying me again. No. Let's learn from each other. It's enough money out there and enough customers out there for everybody. I don't care if it's 500 of us, all 500 of us are in the same niche. There is enough customers out there for all of us. We can be doing the exact same thing, producing the exact same product with the exact same color. It's enough people out there for all of us. Why? Because me and this person might talk, me and this customer might talk, and we just might hit it off. We might just both like the Falcons. They won't do business with me because I like the Falcons. We got the same products because you like the Cowboys. They don't want to have nothing to do with it. There's enough people out there for all of us. Let's stop competing and start working together.
Yes. So, as we are wrapping up tonight, again, thank you for those who are joining us on tonight, who've joined us on tonight. For those who have already registered, it is not too late. So go ahead and I like to say, if you can't secure your seat, sow a seat. Sow a seat. Sow a seat for somebody who you know needs this information. Sow a seat for somebody who who's stuck. Sow a seat to somebody. What better way to help out your pastor or ministry leader to say, hey, I heard about this thing. Maybe this could help us get unstuck. Maybe this could help propel us forward. And so again, we are just here. We are here to help. We are here to help. Once again, you're not talking about people who just kind of woke up one morning and say, hey, let's just do catalysts. Let's get people in a room and just talk about business. We've been in this thing for a long time. We've been in this thing for a while. We have the credentials to back it up. And so, you're talking about people who've actually put in the work behind the scenes and continue to put in the work behind the scenes. And so, again, thank you to those who've already registered. Share this information with somebody. Share it with somebody. Think about what you're trying to do. Think about the fact that, again, if you put it down, now is the time. This is a sign for you to pick it back up. This is time for you to pick it back up. You were talking about the whole thing of if 500 people made the same thing. Look at how many different types of shoes. There was not one person that said, uh-oh, somebody made a shoe. I can't make another one. Look at the cars. Uh-oh, somebody made a car. Can't make another one. And so, again, yes, God made the world big. He made the world big enough for all of us to eat. All of us. And so he did not just give one person one idea. We are multifaceted, multi-layered people. And so now is the time. I just believe that now is the time to get all the tools that you need for the seasons ahead. You know, everybody's not going to always gravitate towards the large companies, or towards this person or towards that person. It does not make your product any less than. It does not make your ministry any less than because it doesn't look like somebody else's. And so we want to drive this point home to you on tonight, September 21st. Catalyst is coming. So we want you to be in the room 11 a.m. at Holiday Inn Gas South in Duluth. So again, it is not too late for you to register. Lunch will be provided. Get a chance for vendor opportunities, a chance to network, a chance to find out answers to your questions, a chance to say, hey, for some people, this may be the opportunity to say, you know what? I think I kind of need to revamp some things. It's okay. This is the place to do that. And what better time to do it than before the new year? You know, the brand new year is, I'm gonna start a, everybody wants to start a business. Everybody wants to do this. Everybody wants to do that. So if that's the case, why not jump in now? Why not get all the information that you need now before the new year starts? So we want to just wanted to pop in and share this time with you and spend this time with you. We will be back. And so, you know, again, if you have any questions from tonight, if you have anything that you thought about, no question is a quote unquote dumb question. The only dumb question is the one that's not asked. So I'm going to turn it over to my partner, and he's going to close us out tonight.
I want to thank you all for coming. Like Dr. Crawford said, get in this room. You can go to you can see the links on our Facebook pages. You can go to my website, DarriusJeter.com. I hadn't made a Catalyst website yet, but DarriusJeter.com. There's a link. It's right up on the page. You just click on it, and it'll take you right to the registration page. Vendor opportunities, an opportunity for you to say, hey, I need y'all to walk with me through this year. That opportunity is going to be available at the launch and launch. You don't want to miss that to make sure that you start that new year off right. So again, thank y'all for coming. We want to see y'all September 21st. You all have a blessed and wonderful, wonderful night.